ever since Congo ipata independence in June 30th, 1960, the Congolese have not been having peace. Peace design yenye, Congo is one of the richest countries with lots of minerals, but corruption, poverty, and unemployment is what is defining the lives of the Congolese. You are doomed to be born in Congo. So the young people of Congo wanaitwa kuluna. Of late nimesikia there are more than 100 kulunas who were murdered by the then Minister of Justice anaitwa Constant Mutamba ordered the death of over 100 kulunas and 70 more to go. How did we lead here, and why are these youths, mostly 18 to 35 years, being killed for these cases of criminal wars and bringing unrest in Kinshasa? This thing in Congo started from long time ago. Kutoka 1960, there was a leader mwenye alingia, a dictator well known as Mobutu Sese Seko. So there was an agreement yenye Kagame alikuwa nayo na another leader, rebel leader wa huko alikuwa anaitwa Kabila, ili waweze kukame in, waweze kusaidia Congo. Na Congo ikahappen ya kwamba they brought in some level of peace. Yenye armed dealers na wao wengine rebels wakakweza kuwa na some competition in government. The government has control, but on the eastern side of Congo there is no control in a village called Goma that is on the mpaka ya Rwanda na Congo. So hiyo mpaka ya Rwanda na Congo ikakuwa ni tricky because most of the minerals are on that side, and these Hutu and Tutsis, the Tutsi rebels wenye sahi wanaitwa M23 rebels, and some of the ISIS-led assassinations, these guys are the ones bringing unrest in Congo. Because as we can see, kuna msee mwenye alikame in akasema there are things that are going on. These people were set here by our colonial masters. Congo ilikuwa colonized by Belgium, and they still have fingers and they have foots in the gold mines, foots in the copper mines, foots in the diamond mines, foots in the tin mines. You look at this country and you see the natural resources that they have, but there are fights because of these same resources. Na hizi resources ndo zina bring these people to afford such armory, such as hizi ma missiles, stingers, or afford ma AK-47, or afford ma grenade, now afford all these things. So they are using it to actually protect these mines. Na hizi mines ndio wana protect water. So gava ikikam inapata they have minerals, but the mines are not accessible. So what we need with this guy called Tshisekedi akakama akasema ya kwamba he'll be able to fight these kulunas. But is kuluna the source of the problem? Ama the source of the problem is unemployment, because the youth were being displaced. Ukiangalia hata Kenya sahi, as we live in Kenya, there are many Congolese. I've studied with some of them. They are my friends, very beautiful people, and wengine wamekuwa my baba, wananinyoa, wengine wananiuzia njugu. Unatumia msee namba, unaona namba imeandikwa sijui ni Kurunzinza, unashangaa huyu msee si Mkenya. So you look at the names and you realize that you are living with Congolese. They have been displaced. More than 6 million Congolese have died in the past 3 decades, and over 6 million have been displaced. So you're looking at the facts in Congo and you realize that Congolese need prayers and they need the support of all African countries. Because as we look at Kuluna, these are people who are doomed from birth because of the origin of birth. Ukiangalia mtu amezaliwa in Congo, there are less opportunities for him to look at, because these young men were coming from east and central and all parts of Congo to go to Kinshasa to look for a better life for themselves, a better life for their families. But when you go to Kinshasa, unarealize kwamba there is unrest, there is poverty, there is unemployment, the roads are unclear, they are not made, dirty all over, kila kitu is not working. So what do these kids result? They result to going to the streets, bring unrest, terrorism, and hacking, and all these things such as killing and abductions and trying to get some extra coin for their pockets, extra pennies. So there's this guy called Constant Mutamba. Constant Mutamba was elected on May 19th, 2024. Constant Mutamba alikame in akaambiwa, your role is to give the death penalty. He is the Minister of Justice. So who Constant Mutamba ndo alipewa the power of the sword. He was to decide whether you get life or death. So in Congo, it's so funny design yenye they kill their civilians. They kill these criminals by hanging them on a post. I mean, look at this picture down here and tell me, is this the right way? Mi naeza prefer nidungo injection, but this ya kushutiwa, it's so bad. So Constant Mutamba is the guy who is actually deciding the fate of these young men. These young men who are doomed due to poverty. You can't stay in the house with no food in your stomach and no one is willing to give it to you, because everyone is on the same hook. And you see, one thing about these Congolese ni kwamba The money that they are making only benefits a few, benefits the armed gangs. So these kuluna guys, kuluna meaning hard men, meaning fighters. These kuluna guys, there was a move of this Constant Mutamba saying no kuluna. So in his move, he decided that he's going to kill over 170. And one of them, there was a coup yenye ili happen on May. Na hii coup ilikuwa this guy mwenye anaitwa Christian Malanga. Christian Malanga alienda akakuja na mtoto wake and a few guys. They tried to overtake the government because they are like, manze, you have so many things that you can do to help us, but there's nothing you are doing. Democracy is not working. What do? We design a coup d'etat. With this coup d'etat, this guy came in and decided to go to one of the Minister of Finance, now heading to the State House. So kufika huko, they took over for a few minutes, but then the army came in to take them to arrest, and this is what has been happening in Congo. Some of them have been murdered, and killings is not such a weird thing in Congo. People are dying every day, dying from food, dying from diseases, dying from all these things that such as armed gangs such as the M23, which are led by the Tutsi tribe, and all these things that are going on in Congo. I beg every African to look at Congo, pray and support our Congolese brothers because they need our help. Otherwise, usahau kulike na kufollow. Best podcast ever, StoRynamosee.